Today, I want to talk about the hyphen. Now, previously, I talked about the en dash, which is the middle one, em dash, really long line. The hyphen is the shortest line that we use when we are writing our papers. And a hyphen is used to connect words together and often to avoid confusion. Now, we don't want to overuse the hyphen, and physics AIP is quite clear on this. They say avoid the hyphen when it does not serve a useful purpose. Today I want to talk about when the hyphen does serve a useful purpose. And here's a good example of how an incorrect use of the hyphen could confuse your reader. See how 24-hour reactions has a different meaning than 24-hour reactions. By combining words together, you change the meaning, and that's why the hyphen can be so useful, especially in our scientific paper. Now, hyphens make compound words. Basically, when there are two words and they have an equal function, equal importance, we link them together, especially when those two words modify another word. Often they create what we call a compound adjective. Here's an example. 1-to-1 correspondence. 1 and 1 have equal importance here, and they both modify the correspondence, so we hyphen them together. Blue-green. We want to make a new color, and blue or green is not more important, so we hyphen them. Gain, bandwidth, product. Both gain and bandwidth are modifying product, so to show the reader that they're both talking about the product, I hyphen them. State of the art, analog to digital, scholar, poet. These are all examples of compound words that we can create using a hyphen. Now, most compound adjectives are hyphenated when they immediately precede or come before the noun. Example, differential mode current. Differential and mode are both modifying current. We can't say differential current, wouldn't make sense. We can't say mode current, also wouldn't make sense. Both of those words together create a new meaning for the current, so they've got to be hyphened. Well-known fact. It's not a well fact, nor is it a known fact. It's a well-known. They both work together to create a new word and a new meaning. High-frequency behavior. Steady state voltage. Common mode voltage. Again, all of these are creating new compound words, new compound adjective to modify the following noun. Now, I want to show you some examples of how the same words used as a noun are not hyphenated. So we hyphenate them when they're an adjective, but not when they're a noun. Example, open current voltage. Open and current both modify voltage, but the configuration was an open current. No hyphen because there's no noun following it. This is not an adjective in the second sentence, it's a noun. So rather than taking the adjective form with a hyphen, we remove the hyphen, and the meaning is the same, but we just don't need the hyphen. First aid kit, but you should get first aid. When we don't hyphenate, when we don't have a following noun, we don't need to hyphenate. Worst case event, but consider the worst case. You begin to get the idea here about how we don't always hyphenate these two words together, only when they form an adjective that is preceded by a noun. Now, some compound words are always hyphenated, especially words with the word half. It's a good quick rule to keep in mind, like half-baked, half-life, one-half. These are all going to be hyphenated. Other words that are often hyphenated are words with free, divergence-free, sugar-free, toxin-free are always hyphenated. Do not use a hyphen for foreign phrases that are used as adjectives, like ad hoc. I know that it looks like an adjective, but it's not even an English word, so we don't hyphenate it. We keep those words separate. Also, do not use a hyphen after ly. Ly already means hyphen. So, for example, intensely colored crystals means intense hyphen colored crystals. It's the same meaning. So, when you say intensely hyphen colored, it's like saying hyphen hyphen. Unnecessary. So either use the hyphen or the ly, but never together. Let me show you some examples of this error. We don't say, for example, we developed a fully automated method. No, fully already means hyphen, so we wouldn't need to repeat hyphen there. We would just say fully without the hyphen. Or another example here, surgically removed. No, just say surgically without the hyphen. We don't need a hyphen following ly. Also use a hyphen when your meaning is unclear without a hyphen. Some examples here are low frequency amplitudes, large vowel obstruction. If you don't use the hyphen, it's difficult to know which word is modifying which. Is the large referring to the vowel or the obstruction? But when you put in the hyphen, we know that you're talking about the large vowel as a compound word, and it's easier for me to understand what you're talking about. Also, when there's a range, put the hyphen before both high and low, or low and high, and I know that they're both referring to the following word here. Use a hyphen between abbreviations and initialisms. For example, post GKRS. Post hyphen there. Or proper nouns, pre-Victoria, or numerals, those are numbers, like 2.7 fold, but twofold together without the hyphen. Recover and recover. Now the reason that we need to hyphen here is that the word recover has a different meaning than re-cover. And if you put it together, I don't know if you mean recover, like get better, or cover again. So that's why we have to separate those words with a hyphen. Or unionize or unionize. Again, two different words with different meanings. Therefore, it's critical to avoid being unclear that we hyphenate the ionization part, the unionized word. Also use a hyphen when the first term is a number, like 5-gram dose or 3-year-old child, except in chemistry. Chemistry, we don't apply that rule, and you do see the number with the unit of measurement directly. Notice how even when we write out the term, two-way, we don't put two, we write the word two. We still hyphenate there because both to and way are modifying the analysis of variance. Also use a hyphen when the second term is a verb used as a noun. Example, evidence-based stress. Now, evidence-based are both modifying the approach here, so we would hyphenate. Or work-related stress, they're both modifying stress. Seizure-inducing are both modifying the word drug. Do not hyphenate. Here's something to keep in mind. Do not hyphenate the following prefixes. Now, prefixes don't all get hyphenated like a normal word would. A prefix is attached to the word. We don't separate it with that little hyphen, like non-linear, a good example, or co-author. Don't hyphenate. Metastable, multi-conductor. These prefixes are part of the word. They're not separate words, so we don't hyphenate them. Here are some other exceptions to the rule. I know exceptions are mafan, but I just want to go through a few of them with you. Basically, everything I just told you is true except when you're using compound words with self, all, ex, and quasi. These prefixes do use a hyphen, like self-extinguishing, all-inclusive, and ex-president. These would be some examples. Another thing to keep in mind is we do hyphenate when the last letter of the prefix is the same as the first letter of the word following it, like anti-intellectual. Anti, I, and intellectual, I. We don't like that I together there, so we like to hyphenate there as well. Also, we hyphenate when the word would be kind of weird or ugly if we didn't, like this non-ionizing or non-oscillatory. If we didn't hyphenate, it would be no-oscillatory. It's strange, and so we hyphenate there. But these are the exceptions, so don't worry about them too much. In general, just remember the rules that I mentioned to you previously. Well, thanks for joining us today. For more information on how Taiwanese authors can publish more in international journals, I want to refer you to my blog, editing.tw/blog. I have lots of great information there on how Taiwanese authors can better publish in good journals. And I also have a service where we rewrite and revise Taiwanese research papers before they're published. We have a lot of native-speaking editors who can edit or translate your research paper, and you can see our services at editing.tw. Thanks for joining us.